Final topic today is a Carter Elliott brainchild. You got to love that. We are going to look at the preseason top 25, and you want to both come up with a list. Maybe we can collaborate on this list of 5 teams that are in the top 25 that will not be at the end of the season, and 5 teams that are out of the top 25 that will be in the top 25 by the end of the season. So you can pick what preseason top 25 poll we use. You can lead this one, my friend.
We are going to use a good friend of the program, Jeff Borzello's Way Too Early ESPN Top 25, and we will be collaborating on this one. So headline will be Greg Waddell collaborates with Liar. Sorry, since we're going to stay on that theme on this one. So obviously, given the Way Too Early Top 25, we do this like every single season. There's always a group of teams that makes their way into the top 25. There's a group of teams that make their way out. They go in and out, in, back and forth, this, that, and the third. So, given this Way Too Early Top 25, I want to start with the teams that are located in the top 25 that will end up out. There's one caveat here, though, Gregory, because we're not going to take the easy way out on this one. I need at least one team that is in the top 12 that'll finish outside the top 25. Even if you don't truly believe, you got to pick one inside the top 12 that maybe falls off a cliff and ends up outside of the top 25.
Interesting. Okay, I'm game for this.
Are you sure? Or would you like to change anything about this? Because this is a very fluid exercise. I was going to say 1
No,
through 15. Is that too much?
I don't want to change anything. I want to let you rock. I want to get the ball to my best player and let him do his thing.
Okay. All right. Let's do it then. Let's start with what team would be classic Caleb Love North Carolina team that fell off a cliff, went from 1 to nothing. Shit. Last year's Michigan State team, which was 5 and fell out. It was never in the top 25 or to be heard from again. What team is most likely to do that out of this top 12?
Can I hear the top 12?
Of course you can. You have Kansas at 1, Bama 2, UConn 3, Houston 4, Gonzaga 5, Baylor 6, Iowa State 7, Duke 8, Arizona 9, North Carolina 10, Auburn 11, Texas A&M 12.
Oh, I have my answer.
It's in North Carolina.
No.
Is
So
it? Who is it now?
there are teams on this list that are more likely to be out of the top 12 by the time the season ends than the team I'm going to name. But if we're playing could they be this year's Carolina team? If we're playing that game, which is the question you asked me, that implies they need to be considered a favorite. They need to have the hype of being one of the very, very, very best and completely underwhelming and letting everybody down. So that's what I'm after. I'm ignoring the Auburns, the North Carolinas, the Iowa States, teams at the bottom that they're going to be good. Maybe they just won't be top 12 good. I'm locked in on a team that is 12th according to Torvik's projections for next season, but is 3rd in most people's polls. It's the UConn Huskies card.
Ooh, talk to me. God,
Here's the
way
talk.
to give Hurley his clip.
I know, but here's the talk. The reality is this roster is a lot less talented than previous seasons. UConn fans won't even deny that. I still think they're really good, but Donovan Clingan's gone. You are going to massively downgrade at center, given the bigs that are on this roster. We know that as a fact. So even if everything else is great, even if Caravan takes a leap forward, even if Aiden Mahaney's Cam Spencer, but better, you massively downgraded your most important star position from the last 2 years. And I still think you have a lot of stuff to figure out at point guard beyond that. So, look, I think they're really talented. If we wanted to get crazy, which I don't, but if we did, you could have the conversation about is the guy at the top of the mountaintop that just signed for $50 million, is he really that motivated this year? Now it's Dan Hurley. He's always motivated, but we've seen it before where guys that are motivated kind of take the foot off the gas a little bit. I'm not saying Dan Hurley's going to do that, but I'm speculating if there's a team that it could happen to, it could be this roster.
I think it's a fair speculation just given roster talent in general, because you look back to coming off that first championship, They follow that up with having Donovan Clingan and Stephon Castle, two top 10 NBA draft picks. This team's going to look a lot different. It's not going to be as talented. Now, that might not hurt them, and it probably won't. They're still going to be good. But I think it's fair to question talent-wise, is this really the third best team in the country, or is this like we got to respect Dan Hurley what UConn has done, which I'm not against, but like we're just lining up roster talent-wise. This is probably more along a team that's like 12.
Yeah. Which is why, like, in Torvik's roster cast, they're 12th. Like, they're behind Texas, which is crazy. I called it out for being crazy the other day. But if we're playing the, like, who is the team who could underwhelm here game, I think UConn's more likely than Kansas or Alabama are.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. All right, I'm gonna hate putting UConn in the graphic if we do this.
I know. I'm
Uh,
making a list for the graphic right now.
Good Lord. Okay, the other four teams, some other candidates I'd like to throw out there that maybe you could either push back or go against.
Also, no, I'm now demanding because I don't want to put UConn on the graphic, so I need us to come up with 5 teams that could be outside the top 25. Because your caveat that they're outside the top 12 is different and hard to put on a graphic. So let's find 5 others that are just in the top 25 that could be out of it.
Okay. I like to make a case for Arkansas.
Make the case.
My case for Arkansas is that there's too much love to the older guys that were part of some of his issues at Kentucky.
Okay.
Like, is he gonna ride DJ Wagner and Adu Thiero to the end? What if Big Z's not good?
Yeah, I have no qualms about this. DJ Wagner was not good last year. Big Z was not good last year. I didn't love Adu Thiero last year. So
Does John O. Davis is he gonna just cash a paycheck or like
yeah, it's a fair question.
it's
I
I
like
think there's a lot to go along with it.
I like Arkansas in it for sure. Let's lock Arkansas in. Is Kentucky in the preseason top 25?
They are currently number 23. Yes.
Gotta have them on this list.
Okay. And yeah, gotta okay. I'm
Do I
I'm
need to
good for it.
elaborate on that or no?
No, I think everything is set for in that one.
Their best player might be Kirk Risa.
Oh, Jeremiah Fear. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, you're right.
Like I just that's a reasonable, plausible outcome here. Just want to make
Oh,
sure you know that.
100%. Okay. All right. So we have right now Arkansas, Kentucky, some other teams that are kind of at the bottom half of this. You have Rutgers at 25, UCLA 24, Texas at 22, Florida at 21, Ole Miss at 20, Cincinnati 19, Indiana 18. Any of those stick out that actually could be candidates?
Do you have one?
Indiana.
You want to put Indiana on
I
here?
want to put Indiana, yes.
Cart.
If there's a Woodson, there's a way. If
Cart.
there's a Woodson, there's a way.
If there's a talented roster, he's not in the way.
But also, if there's a Woodson, there's a way.
I hate that I have to be the person going to bat for Woodson. I guess you get to overrule me on this, but like their roster's like 7th in the country good,
Only one on, and yet they're 18th.
which is already what we're docking them for. We can't dock them more. They're not going to be worse than 10 spots worse than they should be, man.
Give me 3 other teams that could go in this spot, and I will maybe consider leaving Indiana out of this exercise.
I need you to read me the whole 15 through 25 again.
Got you. So 15 is Creighton, 16 is Purdue, 17 is Marquette, 18 Indiana, and then Cincinnati, Ole Miss, Florida, Texas, already did Kentucky at 23, UCLA, and then 25 Rutgers.
I mean, all of those. Every team from 18 onward is more likely than Indiana in my mind. But like that's all. There's a big time drop off after the top 17 in this poll.
That's very true. So I think UCLA should be a part of this. Just because.
Why? Because they were bad at basketball last year and they're all back? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right. So UCLA's in there.
You know who else should maybe on there? Rutgers, the team who doesn't have a center. Like they're going to start Ace Bailey at the 5 card.
Is that kind of fun?
That doesn't mean it's good.
But it's fun.
Why didn't they just get a center card?
They got Zach Martini. They got Zach Martini.
Oh, my bad. I forgot they have Zach Martini.
You hate martinis.
Whoops. Like,
You're not a martini guy.
I'm not a martini guy, no.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go with
Also
UCLA.
not a Zach guy if we want to talk about that, but
Whoa.
Cody carried the sweet life.
Okay, Hearth stray right there.
I love Hurts.
Um,
He's Z. He's not Zach.
oh, respect. Okay. So we're gonna go with UCLA, Arkansas, Kentucky, Rutgers. I want to throw Indiana in
I
there,
feel like
but
Cincinnati and Ole Miss and all of them, right?
I-
Like,
yeah, okay, but I don't want to put all those teams, so I want to pick another one that's a higher ranked team. I'd like to put Creighton up there.
no, we can't do that. Calk's too good. They're
But
better than
like,
so many teams in the Big East. They're not falling out of the top 25. I refuse Creighton. I'd rather put Indiana than Creighton.
okay, Indiana it is then.
I
I
don't want
get
to
my
put
way.
Indy. Can we just put a team that's clearly worse than Indiana though? Like, please? Can we
Okay,
just
okay. All right, fine. Like there's a very all right. You're right. We're given the opportunity to put Cincinnati here and we're just not doing it. Okay.
yeah, they're bad. They're not good. They're not
Okay.
very good.
Okay. So just so you have this written down. Arkansas, UCLA, Cincinnati, Kentucky, Rutgers.
Correct. The five teams that are most likely to fall out of the top 25 by season's end are those five. Uh,
Okay.
okay.
Fun
Now,
part of the exercise.
fun part. Five teams that are outside of the top 25 that should be in it. You can bat lead off here. What do you got?
Ooh. Okay, so some options here. These are the next in line teams if you want to, if these strike your interest at all. Texas Tech, Xavier, Oregon, Kansas State, Maryland. Those are the next in line teams.
I will never allow us to put Maryland on this list. Um, I'm intrigued by Oregon and I'm intrigued by Kansas State. I think you're going to be intrigued by oh, what's their name? Xavier.
Xavier, I would like to put Kansas State as a team that ends up there.
Okay, we can lock in Kansas State. I like
Like
that.
the team of spunky, just like losers actually win. You
Yeah,
know
it's
what
a
I'm saying?
Tang bounce back coach for his reputation year too.
Yeah, like it just ends up working.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Oh, I don't know if I want to put. I don't know if I want to get there with some of these other schools. Would you like to make a case for Michigan to end up there?
For the fourth or fifth spot, I think I would. I mean, I don't know what to say. I've said it enough. Like, I think they have a top three front court in the sport, and if Roddy Gale's good, this team's going to win a lot of games in the Big Ten.
I agree with that. You know what? Actually, I would. Can you make one more Oregon push for me?
So Jackson Shellstad's going to be like a dude.
Okay.
That's my biggest thing.
I was doing exercise in my head, and as long as you led with Jackson Selstad, I was going to allow us to go. If I heard TJ Bamba to lead off that argument, I would not allow it. So I will allow Oregon to get into
No,
this
I
one.
think Shellstad's a dude, and more importantly, like Altman can coach, and the same way Willard came to the Big Ten, and his first year, no one knew how to prepare for him. That's going to happen with Altman to me, and it might not happen to the other Pac-12 coaches because I don't think they're that good. But like Altman runs really good offensive stuff. Shellstad's a guy. Bama's good, even though you don't want to admit it. Like they're going to be good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay,
And
so
because I
we have
want
Kansas State and Oregon in.
Kansas State, Oregon in, if you're not going to let me put Maryland in, will you let me put my Ohio State Buckeyes in here?
I don't think so.
Can I get Michigan State in here?
I'd rather put Michigan State in than Ohio State. But I don't think we're allowed to put Michigan and Michigan State on here.
True.
That feels wrong. We
It
could
feels
put
like a.
one if we want to really get there. We could put one, I think, and it's okay. I don't think we can put both.
I'll let you just put Michigan because I'm not willing to fight.
Can I give you all the other ones I would maybe make an argument for outside of Michigan State first?
Please.
Wake Forest. Hunter Salas is awesome, like really awesome. And maybe it's time for Steve Forbes to just get over the hump. The ACC stinks. Getting an extra year of Hunter Salas like matters. Nobody's talking about it.
That is true. And like if Omaha Blue can maybe develop a little bit, that'd be a good 1-2 punch. If we do that, can I make an argument that must bust experiment? Like you know how you say in year two it works?
No,
It works enough in year one.
they don't have enough talent. They like even if you're gonna tell me St. Thomas is great, like the third best player might be Terrence Williams.
Oh, sure. Wait, hold on a second. You know who we're forgetting? Oh my God.
Who?
What are we doing?
Who?
Illinois.
Yeah, they're not in the top 25.
No, they're not.
Okay, so Illinois is definitely in there. Fuck, that
Oh,
bumps Michigan and Michigan State. That
uh,
stinks.
okay. That I didn't even realize that. I'm sorry. That's on me.
All right, Wake Forest is one I still want to go to bat for. Is St. John's in the top 25?
They're not.
I'd like to go to bat for them too.
Okay, so Illinois, St. John's, Kansas State. You don't forget anybody?
Oregon,
Oregon.
we have one spot left that I'll let you decide where it goes to, but not Maryland or Ohio State. You're not allowed to pick those.
Xavier.
Oh, that's worse.
What?
I'm so out on Xavier. I mean,
They got talent.
I'll let you have it, but I'm
They
so
got
out.
they got talent.
They lost their best player. It was better than any of the dudes they brought in.
And I tried to give it, and I tried to pick USC, and you told me they didn't have talent.
Do you really still believe in Sean Miller like that? Like,
Uh,
wouldn't you rather we could?
you want me to tell the truth?
You do.
No.
Then yeah, if you don't, why are we doing that? Like, do you?
Because they got some guards, man. They got killers.
What about Providence over them? Like, there's a lot of teams in the Big East I think I would like go to bat for before I would pick Sean Miller in the NIL era.
Okay. Bryce Hopkins comes back healthy. Wesley Cardette's really good. Kim English is doing the Kim English thing.
What if Malik Mack's really good?
No, okay. That you're I just gave you an inch, you took a mile. You just try to throw Georgetown as the top 25.
Later this week, we're gonna do teams that are like projected last in their conference that could end up top 25.
Most likely that could end up in okay, that's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. I'm okay with Providence, or I'm okay with anything else you pick here.
I'll pick Providence.
Providence is the answer. Okay.
Yes, I
That
feel
was a
good
fun
about it.
exercise. Kansas State, Oregon, Illinois, St. John's, Providence, teams most likely to break their way through to the top 25. Arkansas, Kentucky, UCLA, Rutgers, Cincinnati, teams most likely to fall out of the top 25. And UConn, you just made us do a UConn disaster 5 minutes. I don't know what that was about, but
Sorry. I mean, you started it.